Good morning. Just after 6, it's Robert and Erin. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, and local news just a couple of seconds away.
Big sewer problems in Shreveport. We'll talk more about that. The spike in crime. What's the police department doing? And the governor signs the budget. It does include money for teachers.
Got lots to talk about. We had more yesterday than we could cover. But one of the topics we must cover immediately is everybody's asking me about food trucks and pawn shops.
Ooh.
We'll get to that. Plus, Matt says we're awful human beings.
No, we're not.
I agree with you on this one.
We're wonderful.
Fletcher and sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Problems force sewage into the Red River. Matt Parker with that.
A problem with the Stoner sewer main is causing major problems in Shreveport. According to the city, residents should avoid using Bayou Pierre, Anderson Bayou, and the Red River near the Stoner boat launch due to sewage being in those waterways. Officials say it will take about a week to repair the Stoner main. While repairs are being made, raw sewage will be pumped directly into the Red near the Stoner boat launch. The city says the move should have no adverse impact on the public. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A spike in crime in Shreveport since June 1st has lots of folks concerned, including Police Chief Ben Raymond, who says he is taking steps to be more proactive this summer.
We started the supplemental patrol program late last year. We've added some additional officers to that program, those that work in schools that are out for the summer. When they're not, taking vacations or attending the mandatory training, they're working shifts on patrol, so we're adding to the numbers that are on the streets.
He's also putting more officers on the streets during the higher crime hours in an effort to target the criminal element. Caddo School Board approves the new budget. However, the board is still only paying $12,500 for school crossing guards. Earlier this year, the city council voted to cut funding for crossing guards, hoping the school board would pick up the slack. Caddo Superintendent Dr. Lamar Gorey says the school board made a commitment years ago to pay a certain amount for school crossing guards, and the board will continue to honor that obligation. Governor John Bel Edwards has signed the $30 billion budget that lawmakers approved in the legislative session. He says the spending plan goes into effect July 1st. It contains the first teacher pay raise in a decade.
It's not just teachers. It's all certificated personnel and all support workers are in this particular instrument, because we know it's everybody on campus that contributes to the education of our children.
Teachers will get a $1,000 pay raise. Support workers will get $500. Attorneys for accused cop killer Grover Cannon have filed a motion requesting that Cannon's trial not be set before November 11th. The motion says they want their client to have a fair trial, and some witnesses won't be able to testify before that date. Cannon's scheduled to be back in court at the end of July to set a trial date. He's accused of shooting and killing Shreveport police officer Thomas LaValle. 15-year-old girl recovering after being shot Tuesday afternoon. According to police, this shooting happened around 3 p.m. on Suntan Street. Police believe the suspect is also a juvenile. At this time, investigators working to find the shooter and determine whether or not the shooting was accidental. The girl is expected to make a recovery. We know about bat problems in Shreveport. The pests have virtually taken over at Fairgrounds Field. But how big a problem are bats statewide? Jim LaCour with the Wildlife Department is asking for the public's help to count how many bats live in Louisiana so they can find out if a bat-based disease is spreading. And he needs your help. He wants you to sit outside and do a count.
just to sit and basically count those bats and then fill out a little data sheet for us and get that information back to us.
Not sure who'll get the job of counting the bats at Fairgrounds Field, but he wants a count of all bats in the state. AT&T is letting 1,800 people go, including firing some in Louisiana. According to a spokesman, the company is reducing staff in certain areas to keep up with an ever-evolving industry. According to reports, more than 117 workers in Louisiana will lose their jobs. Employees in Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee will also be affected. The Louisiana Office of Alcohol and Tobacco Control accepting permit applications from retailers who want to sell CBD products. ATC Commissioner Juana Maureen Lombard says they'll begin processing applications immediately.
We will require a short NOI period of about 7 days that will just let the neighbors and in the area know that the business will be selling CBD products.
Once an application's approved, the retailer will get a temporary permit that will expire at the end of February. President Trump promising starting next week millions will be removed as fast as they come. Immigration was the focus of his formal re-election launch event in Florida. The nation's second largest school district, Los Angeles, moves to end random searches of students. The board will phase out the random metal detector searches by July 1st of next year. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.107 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic time starting us off this morning. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex that's working across North Texas may approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard DeWettig, the Weather Channel.
1017 FM 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Okay, so first of all, we have a tornado warning for East Texas this morning.
It's going to be bad weather. Bad weather is coming in our direction.
I guess, what is it, Harrison County?
Mm-hmm.
And I assume we are in the path of this storm.
Right. You're going to hear the EAS go off throughout the morning.
And we can't hear it.
Yeah, we can't hear it. So we apologize if we get interrupted. Weather's important, and we got to have that for you.
Already
Definitely.
40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts in Harrison County and just a bit west of that moving this way.
Yeah.
And nothing reported on the ground yet or anything like that, but conditions exist where tornadoes could be created by the storm.
Absolutely.
And I guess I just saw a couple of minutes ago that anticipated wind gusts in the 70 to 75 mile an hour range.
Yes. Going to be some severe storms, and they're going to be arriving, as you're getting off to work today. So batten down your hatches.
Moving about 35 miles an hour. I'm kind of trying to look at you with one eye. And
came through Dallas late last night, and it, some hail was reported. There was some heavy rain and some scattered flooding areas. So just be careful.
Do you still have the email yesterday from Pam Glorioso in Bossier City on food trucks? Because believe it, interestingly enough, now that there are new rules in place for Shreveport and food trucks, and Bossier City and food trucks, that's what everybody wants to talk to me about. Mm-hmm. The Shreveport deal is what did the city council pass at their most recent get together? Erin, Parkey.
They passed some restrictions on food trucks, what they have to do, what permits they have to get, when they can operate, and those kinds of things. Now, they didn't finish the ordinance because they didn't say if you have to report, when you move or your locations where you're going to be.
They're still sort of piecing it all together, but the big problem is that there's, in Shreveport at least, the problem seems to be there are a number of food trucks, and if you believe the MPC numbers, quite a number of food trucks that are operating that just aren't registered with anybody. So there's no regulation, there's no health inspection, there's no anything like that. And that, to the great degree, is what they're trying to get a handle on the Shreveport side.
Right.
In Bossier City, there's a moratorium on food trucks. Do I understand that correctly? The ones explain to me, because you got in touch. It was so sort of, I don't want to say convoluted, but difficult to understand. You got in touch with Pam Glorioso.
And well, actually, Sam sent me this. Sam Marsiglia, who's the MPC director, because I sent it to Pam at first, and she just had Sam respond to me because he's the head honcho for that. He sent me this statement. The city of Bossier is currently in the 10th month of a food truck moratorium. I asked the city to enact a moratorium as the MPC office was being inundated with requests for food trucks to permanently set up in commercial parking lots throughout the city.
In other words, they basically wanted to be restaurants in parking lots.
Yeah. And imagine if you owned a restaurant in that shopping center. And then a food truck sets up out front. Mm-hmm. Goodness, they don't have the overhead. They don't have they don't have the rent. They don't have any of the stuff that you're paying. Well, the moratorium's been...
And do they operate by a different set of rules?
You bet they do. The moratorium was in effect for 6 months and was renewed for another 6 months and may need another 6 months to complete the new regulations. Now, Sam says it doesn't eliminate food trucks and trailers from operating totally. What it does not allow them to do is set up at one location to sell to the general public.
It is interesting to me that so many food trucks seem to want to go to one spot and stay there.
Of course, you want to be in the Walmart parking lot or some big parking lot where there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
But Sam does say if they want to go to a plant or a large business to sell strictly to the employees that work for that business and not the general public at large, they can do that. Or if they're catering a particular event or invited by a neighborhood homeowners association to sell within their neighborhood for a food truck night, they're free to do that. He says the new regulations will create rules for where a food truck can stay for longer periods of time than just one day. The East Bank District, he says, will have areas for them to sell during festivals or events, and possibly some other areas will be created for mobile food vendors.
So basically, food trucks didn't want to be trucks. They just wanted to be like small restaurants in one location, which may have had wheels on them.
Exactly. He also says all mobile food vendors must have the proper certificate of occupancy from the MPC office and all licenses required by the city and health department.
I got a text yesterday, and it was a little bit later in the day, and it was talking about the Shreveport side. Recent was it a moratorium also on rainy day, like payday lenders?
Caddo Commission is working on that.
Commission, okay.
And that vote is expected tomorrow during their meeting.
And the question was, does it involve pawn shops also? And the way I understood it was yes.
I hadn't heard that. I don't know where we're hearing that, but we can ask.
Well, that was the question that I got yesterday, and I did not know.
I don't know either, and we'll have to ask and find out, because that's an interesting point. And it may be because they're, if you bring something of value in to a pawn shop and get cash for it.
But if you're one of the payday lender guys who's charging the higher interest, and look, let's be blunt, there's a purpose for those places.
Of course.
It's because the people who go there, their credit ain't good, they need a few bucks, and they can't get it anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. And they may have a job.
It's not like they can go to Chase and get a 3.5%.
No, they can't get those kind of loans.
Exactly.
They
So you wonder
payday.
if it's a moratorium anyway, so the ones in business are, I would assume, not affected, nor if it includes pawn shops, would they be affected also?
Right.
For the time
They'll
being.
grandfather the existing ones in.
So I'm kind of a pawn shop or a payday lender. I'm kind of going, this ain't the worst idea in the world.
Well, we need to clarify if it includes pawn shops.
Okay.
We need to clarify because I don't know that.
Parky, you thinking about it?
I just reached out to Stephen Jackson, who authored the bill, so as soon as he gets in touch with me, I'll let you know.
All right,
1017 FM, 710 Keel, I almost said West Texas. Actually, the eastern part of Harrison, now in a tornado warning. And it is headed our way at about 35 to 40 miles an hour, and we will take a look at that in just a couple of seconds when we get back. 1017 FM, 710 Keel, here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got to clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex that's working across North Texas may approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard Noettig, the Weather Channel.
On 7 FM, 710 Keel, sports time. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Major League Baseball last night. Cincinnati beat the Astros 4-3. Reds hit 3 home runs off Justin Verlander, 2 in the first inning. That's the first series win for the Reds after they've taken the first 2 games of this 3-game set since they won a series May 24th to May 26th. For the Astros, it's their first series loss since April 29th to May 2nd series. Good news for the Astros, though. Jose Altuve is being activated for the final game of the series today. He's been out since May 11th with a strained hamstring. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman clubbed a 2-run home run for the Stros, his 20th of the season. Cleveland hit 3 consecutive home runs for the first time since July 16, 2004, to take down the Rangers 10-3. Adrian Simpson was 5-0 in his last 6 starts for the Rangers, but he gave up 5 runs, 3 of those earned in 3 innings to take the L. College World Series, Louisville and Auburn interrupted by rain with Louisville on top 4-1. They'll get back at it today at around 11 o'clock or so. Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, scheduled to play last night, will instead play this afternoon, with Texas Tech and Florida State playing an elimination game, weather permitting, later tonight. Calvary senior safety Eric Reed announced on Tuesday he is committed to play his college football at Ole Miss. Several recruiting analysts had Reed as a basic lock to go to LSU, but the rising 3-star, some analysts have him as a 4-star safety, threw his hat in the Rebels ring and said. And in Gold Cup play, the U.S. men's national team beat Guyana 4-0 to open the Gold Cup. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin, Richard Llewellyn, Weather Channel. Hey, Richard, welcome back to Keel. How you doing this morning?
Good. How are y'all this morning?
So what's the deal, man? I saw, is a tornado warning in Harrison County, Marshall Way. I saw like 75 to 80 mile an hour straight line winds, maybe a little rotation in the sky. Fill us in. What's the situation?
Yeah, this is a part of an overnight thunderstorm complex that's been marching across Texas throughout much of the overnight hours, and it's now starting to make its notice that it's getting ready to roll into the Arklatex. This storm complex has a tremendous amount of lightning with it, and of course it is producing a lot of straight line winds in association with this. And of course you can see some spin-ups along this line of thunderstorms, and we do have that tornado warning in central Harrison County over in Texas until 6:30, and that's a line of strong thunderstorms is racing off to the east at about 35 miles per hour. So probably over the next 1 to 2 hours, we're going to start to see this approach the Shreveport metro, and it's going to overtake the area with probably some winds that could bring down some trees and power lines, and of course a lot of lightning with this. If you have any electronics that you currently have at home, I would strongly suggest that you unplug them and get ready for these storms.
Unplug the radio station now.
Richard, you expect the tornado warning to be updated to include Caddo Bossier and to go beyond the 6:30 mark?
That's a possibility just due to the way this line of thunderstorms is bowing out. We could definitely see the tornado warning extended on over into the Louisiana parishes. So that's one of the things that we're going to watch. Of course, you see these individual spin-ups along this line of strong thunderstorms, and it wouldn't take much to get a possible tornado to spin up with this. So it's definitely something that we're watching.
Saw some wind speeds upwards of 60, 70 miles an hour?
Yeah, that's right. We've been watching some of the reports coming in out of Texas. Of course, these storms rolled through the Metroplex about an hour ago, and this gives you kind of an idea how fast this line of storms is moving. It's basically moving at pretty close to highway speed in some areas. So, if you're traveling along Interstate 20 right now, moving over toward the Texas border, I would strongly suggest pulling off and waiting for these storms to pass you by, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of blinding rain with this, a lot of lightning and just a slow go of it here over the next couple of hours as this line of storms rolls through.
Richard, unconfirmed reports via social media of a tornado touchdown in the Marshall area near I-20 at the 59 intersection. Have you guys got anything on that? I know it's tough to tell in a lot of instances till after the fact. What do you know, if anything?
Yeah, right now we're just kind of watching the reports come in, and of course we're just kind of putting some storm tracks on this. Of course, we won't know for a fact unless the damage assessment teams of the National Weather Service get out there and check out the damage, what we actually had, straight line winds or a tornado. But the damage can be just as bad with straight line winds as it would be with a tornado. Just put a storm path on that storm right now. It looks like Woodlawn at 7:34, Baldwin 7:45, approaching the Louisiana border about 7:50. Which would be 6:50 Central Time, excuse me, because I've got my Eastern Time Zone block on right now. It looks like probably here within the next 30 minutes, areas right along the Louisiana-Texas border are going to be the ones that are going to start to see this. We're probably looking at about 8:15, probably for Shreveport and Bossier City as that line continues to approach.
When you said 8:15, pardon me, did you mean 7:15 or really 8:15?
7:50. Excuse me.
Okay, no, that's okay.
Okay,
thank you.
Heavy rains with this, some flash flooding a possibility too?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. We could easily pick up 1 to 2 inches out of this line of storms as it rolls through, and of course these are going to be could lead to flash flooding. The ground still pretty saturated. Wouldn't take much to get some flash flooding concerns out of this as well.
Richard Llewellyn at the Weather Channel. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Local news just ahead. Here's Ruben. Traffic update on KEEL.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Law firm now before.
Information. KEEL News now.
Governor Edwards has signed the $30 billion budget that lawmakers approved in the legislative session. The governor says the spending plan goes into effect July 1st. Teachers will get support workers $500. The budget also contains an additional $39 million in block grant money for public schools, and the budget increases funding so additional children can attend pre-K classes.
And what that means at the end of the day, there's about 1,458 children who are going to be removed from the waiting list, and they're going to get a slot.
Edwards says if he's reelected, he will continue to push for higher teacher salaries. A problem with the Stoner sewer main is causing major problems in Shreveport. Residents should avoid using Bayou Pierre, Anderson Bayou, and the Red River near the Stoner boat launch due to sewage being in those waterways. A rash of crime in recent weeks has lots of folks concerned, including Police Chief Ben Raymond.
Again, using our crime analysts to kind of track when do we have these violent crimes occurring, what shift, what day of the week, and then we're putting additional people out there, what we call a special operation. It's kind of a proactive policing enforcement effort to try to target some of those criminals.
He's also calling on the community to help to call in to the police if you see something suspicious. The school board passes the new budget, refusing to pay more for crossing guards. Matt Parker with that.
The Caddo Parish School Board has approved a new budget. However, in the budget, the board is still only paying $12,500 for school crossing guards. Earlier this year, the City Council voted to cut funding for school crossing guards, hoping the school board would pick up the slack. Superintendent of Caddo Schools, Dr. Lamar Gorey, says the school board made a commitment years ago to pay a certain amount for school crossing guards, and the board will continue to honor that obligation. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
President Trump announcing his intention to run for re-election. The president saying the administration has been able to succeed despite pushback from forces supposedly working against him.
Together we're breaking the most sacred rule in Washington politics. We are keeping our promises to the American people. Because my only special interest is you. I don't have a special interest. I don't care.
Some recent polls show President Trump trailing a few of the popular Democrats in the race. The leader of the Louisiana State Trooper Association charged with shooting at his daughter's boyfriend on Father's Day. Chris DeMeo has more.
71-year-old Executive Director David Young facing weapons charges. Baton Rouge police say Young told them that he saw someone in his daughter's car, which she said was empty. He told deputies he ordered the man onto the ground at gunpoint and called 911. He also says the boyfriend fled and he fired a warning shot in the air. But a witness's video shows the gun was fired toward the boyfriend. The daughter also facing drug charges, including meth possession. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
A cargo ship caught in Philadelphia carrying 33,000 pounds of cocaine worth over $1 billion. 2 people have been arrested. If things smell a little funny around your office, this might be the problem. Deodorant use. 40% of 18 to 24-year-olds say they don't use it. 30% of those in the ages of 25 to 34 say they never use deodorant. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. Okay, storm hitting. Tornado warning.
We are under a severe thunderstorm warning now for Caddo and Bossier parishes. This
so
is
the tornado warning
is gone. Yeah,
the tornado warning is off for right now. The one that was in effect for Harrison County, Texas.
Yeah, this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 7:15.
Okay,
this includes Oil City, Mooringsport, Gillum, Benton, Blanchard, Shreveport, Greenwood, Keithville. All those areas around our community. So
here's the timetable. Vivian about right now. Benton at about 6:48. Shreveport 6:52. Houghton 6:58. And Minden around 7:11.
Heavy rains.
The timetable for the storm.
Possible tornadoes could pop up within this. There was a tornado warning in East Texas. There was a report of a tornado near I-20 and Highway 59, but that's not confirmed at this point. We're waiting on the National Weather Service.
Straight line winds, by the way, could be in the range of 65, 70, 75 miles an hour.
That's strong.
As were reported over in East Texas earlier this morning.
Yeah, that is strong.
So once again, right now, Vivian about right now. Benton in about 10 to 15 minutes. Shreveport about 20. Houghton at about 6:58, just before the top of the hour, and Minden just after 7 o'clock this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody on the guest list today?
I'm I'm skirmishing around with a few.
What was that verb?
I'm skirmishing around.
Skirmishing.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's in the Urban Dictionary. We won't look.
I can't tell you who, but if it happens, I'll tell you then.
Tell me about the raw sewage going into the Red River. I heard this last night. I got a text or a couple of texts from a couple of those anonymous insiders that we value so much. Mm-hmm. Well, evidently it's pretty much common. You want to take the break and talk about it when we get back?
We can, because it's a big deal, and they're going to join us. The city folks are going to join us tomorrow morning about this. So we'll get inside full details tomorrow morning.
Raw sewage
going into the Red River, and fish are dying in area bayous because of it. There's a lot of problems.
We'll talk about that just a couple of seconds. Give you the update. Yeah. Might want to harbor that jet ski. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel at my house. That's a euphemism, by the way. Been harbored for a while. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex that's working across North Texas may approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard DeWettig, the Weather Channel.
I would assume you got the same texts, the same emails, whatever it was that I got. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. You got the same stuff I got just markedly earlier. Mm-hmm. And it was raw sewage. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what that is at my house. It's yuck.
It is yuck. Yeah, it really is yuck.
I mean, so we're just dumping poop in the Red River right now? Is that basically what we're doing?
Yeah, pretty much. It's going.
Hey, Alexandria, Shreveport says hello.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, drink up.
Yeah. Wow. So what's the story? Is this true? And what's the reason? What's the time frame on not doing it? How many rules and regulations? I assume it breaks some. I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, the city, here's the official statement from the city of Shreveport, which they posted on their Facebook page. I don't know that I would do this, but they did. City of Shreveport's Environmental Services Manager cautions against fishing and recreational activities in water bodies near Anderson Island until ongoing issues with the Stoner Force main are resolved and test results indicate all is clear. Efforts are underway to repair the sewer main and bring it back online. The main is estimated to be back in service within a week. Ongoing issues with sewer overflows in recent days at the Stoner Force main have impacted water bodies that include Bayou Pierre from Ockley south.
Wait.
Anderson Bayou.
Hang on a second. I got to do this in my head, okay? So the Stoner, what's a force main?
You know, right there about the dog park, there's that kind of that force main they've had a problem with it.
Square brick building.
Yeah, it broke down, and they've been fixing it. They've been trying to fix it, but the water's been too high. Well, it's impacting Bayou Pierre from Ockley Drive south.
Okay, hold on a second. Bayou Pierre from Ockley.
Right
No,
by Maryland's.
I know where you're talking about.
Mhm.
Okay, I just got to do it in my head. You know, I kind of
Yep.
dysgraphic here. Ockley South. Okay, go ahead.
Anderson Bayou from Sevier Street northeast to the Clyde Fant Parkway. I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah.
I think this is the one that runs there by Champion Lake.
Okay.
In that Champion Lake
Where it
area.
comes in right down there and just goes
Yes.
right down the other side where the park is.
Yes. While the Stoner main is under repair, sewage is being diverted directly to the Red River near the Stoner boat launch to lessen the potential of other uncontrolled overflows. The water level in the river remains high and boat launches are closed, including Stoner. Therefore, no adverse impact to the river or to the public is expected. But I did get some texts from residents.
Wait. So there's no adverse effect to the river?
When you pump raw sewage.
I can't imagine this is just like a gallon or two.
Mm-hmm. There are dead fish in the bayous behind the Montessori school and in many of the other bayous in those neighborhoods.
So basically what this says is either we dump it into the river or it backs up into your backyard.
Yeah, you want it in your yard or you want it in the river.
You got a choice.
I love you, Alec, but sorry.
Hello,
Natchitoches. How you doing?
Exactly.
Merry Christmas.
Shreveport says hello.
Sending you a present.
Yeah. What Brown can do for you. Jeez.
Just thankfully, Bossier gets their water from north of here. Correct, Maddie? Because Bossier drinks out of the red.
Yeah.
Drink up today, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Bossier gets their water north of where we're dumping raw sewage into the river.
Okay.
And
so-
Barbara Featherston will join us tomorrow, as will the city's environmental services manager, because we want to find out how quickly this is going to be fixed. Obviously, you need this fixed.
And how much it is.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have the money. You know, Water and Sewer's got that enterprise fund, and they got, what did they say, $42 million?
$42 million.
But she's had a rough year.
Minus 2.5 for the class action lawsuit.
Yeah, rough year.
You have? I do not. At least one that's operational. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. I'm twitting right now.
Parky, do you ever do Twitter?
I have an account, but I rarely use it.
I don't use it very often.
The reason I ask is, have you seen that legendary Americans, O.J. Simpson and Bill Cosby from jail, both now have operating and are Twitter accounts? Did you see the O.J. one?
I saw part of the O.J. one.
Where he literally got into the online argument with the guy, or at least discussion, and O.J. at one point in his response put up knife emojis.
Oh my goodness.
About 15 knife emojis. Like, let's say you and I are texting back and forth, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my response to you is to put up knife emojis and then you next.
Wow.
Well, it's
not
funny
a
when
good
you
plan.
do it.
I wasn't trying to liken myself to OJ in any regard. But the point being, his very first one, his explanation was of wanting a Twitter account and starting a Twitter account was, I've got lots of getting even to do. Now, as weird, as creepy as that might be, Bill Cosby's first tweet. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what it was?
I did, and just hearing it, I got to mentally prepare.
He's tweeting from jail?
Yeah. Hey, it's America's dad.
No, he didn't. That's fake. That can't be real.
It may have not been Bill himself because, Bill's blind, but it was someone from Bill's team posting as the Bill Cosby.
Oh, my goodness. To be able to tweet from jail, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that. You don't need to be on any social media while you're in jail. I'm sorry, you can live without it.
How many followers I did not see?
I don't know.
I thought I saw somewhere that OJ was already in the range of 500,000, but I don't know if that.
Goodness.
Let's see.
Oh my!
But he put
goodness.
a bunch of in answering this guy and in responding to this guy, knife emoji, about 15 knife emojis, and then you next. Can you see? Have you tracked it down already?
Hold on, I'm pulling up the real OJ32. 742,000 followers.
So that number that I saw a couple of days ago was not one I just had in my head of my own imagination. And Cosby, so OJ has 750,000 followers on Twitter already. And Cosby has, hey, it's America's dad.
He's only molested or sexually assaulted
hey.
dozens of women.
Yeah, what a great Father's Day tweet.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're pulling up Billy Boy here. Stand by. He's got 3.5 million followers.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah.
It's time to unplug
So
him.
what do you think of someone who would follow either of them? Because there's people listening that are.
Oh, there absolutely are.
I want to know what OJ has to say. I want to know what Bill Cosby thinks about
Not
things.
interested. I couldn't give a rat's tail feather about what either of those men have to say. They're slime puppies to me.
What was that word again?
Slime puppies.
No need to demean puppies.
Oh.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Yes'm.
Don't forget, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:15, possibly extended. We'll keep you updated with the folks at the Weather Channel if anything is changing.
Ought to be Benton just about right now. Shreveport in a few minutes, like 6:52. Then before the top of the hour, and Minden just after the top of the hour. Traffic update, here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got to clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Weather Channel forecast pretty scary right now. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect till just after the top of the hour, maybe 7:15 or so for all of the Arklatex. Heavy rain, high winds, hail, and I said heavy rain, a possibility. It's 72. .17 FM, 710 Keel. Time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Major League Baseball last night. Cincinnati beat the Astros 4-3. The Reds hit 3 home runs off Justin Verlander, 2 in the first inning. That's the first series win for the Reds after they've taken the first 2 games of this 3-game set since they won a series May 24th to May 26th. For the Astros, it's their first series loss since April 29th to May 2nd series. Good news for the Astros, though. Jose Altuve is being activated for the final game of the series today. He's been out since May 11th with a strained hamstring. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman clubbed a 2-run home run for the Stros, his 20th of the season. Cleveland hit 3 consecutive home runs for the first time since July 16, 2004, to take down the Rangers 10-3. Adrian Simpson was 5-0 in his last 6 starts for the Rangers, but he gave up 5 runs, 3 of those earned in 3 innings to take the L. College World Series, Louisville and Auburn interrupted by rain with Louisville on top 4-1. They'll get back at it today at around 11 o'clock or so. Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, scheduled to play last night, will instead play this afternoon, with Texas Tech and Florida State playing an elimination game, weather permitting, later tonight. Calvary senior safety Eric Reed announced on Tuesday he is committed to play his college football at Ole Miss. Several recruiting analysts had Reed as a basic lock to go to LSU, but the rising 3-star, some analysts have him as a 4-star safety, threw his hat in the Rebels ring and said. And in Gold Cup play, the U.S. men's national team beat Guyana 4-0 to open the Gold Cup. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Damn. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Okay, so
is it raining yet?
It's practically summertime. I mean, really seasonal summer.
It's going to be 96 today.
Here's the point, is that this time of year, which is my favorite, because it's daylight at 5:30 or 20 to 6 in the morning.
Right.
When I get off there at 70th Street, at West 70th, at whatever time, it's this time of year, it's practically daylight. When I get to hear at the radio station, it's practically daylight, if not daylight outside. That was an hour and 20 minutes ago, an hour and 30. It looks like the middle of the night.
It's incredible,
outside right
It really
now.
is.
It is so dark and so creepy looking. It looks like about 2 a.m.
We are under severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15, possibly could be extended. That includes Caddo and Bossier parishes. So just take note, strong storms are arriving imminently in our area.
Vivian already been hit. Benton about right now. Shreveport, it says the original Weather Channel forecast said Shreveport at 6:52. It's 6:56, so we ought to be getting it right now, especially since we are on the west side of town. Details on the way. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Rush.
Yesterday, I told you about urban schools losing budget money. Fewer illegal immigrants are applying for welfare benefits, so taxpayer riches that illegal immigration brought to the schools are dwindling, and educators are mad. They blame President Trump for that. Well, here's part 2 of the story. Why, all of a sudden, are fewer of these illegal immigrant families claiming benefits? The Trump administration is now warning sponsors of immigrants that they're on the hook for welfare benefits the immigrants use. ICE has given notice that if immigrants tap into welfare before officially becoming citizens, their sponsors will have to reimburse the government in full. And Trump didn't pull this out of thin air. It's been the law for a long time. Do you know that? It just wasn't enforced. Simply announcing plans to enforce existing law is having dramatic consequences. Immigrants, both legal and illegal, are now wary of accessing the welfare system. And this has major repercussions, including in the schools where liberals have built huge empires on riches from taxpayer-funded welfare benefits. You want to know why liberals are so ticked off at President Trump? I mean, there's lots of reasons, but number one is follow the money that they used to get and now might not. My friends, for years you've heard me talk about my good friends at Mahindra and their hardworking tractors, but now I want to take a moment to tell you about their hardworking dealers. Mahindra dealers are salt-of-the-earth people who embody true customer service and have turned their entrepreneurial spirit into successful Mahindra dealerships. Owning land is part of the American dream, but so is owning your own business. So I love to see all the family-owned and operated Mahindra locations because, as you know, small businesses really are the heartbeat of America. Mahindra gives family business owners the opportunity to use their skills, experience, and community connections to build and grow their business by selling those rugged red tractors. That's just one more reason to choose my friends at Mahindra.
Are you a successful small business owner? Perhaps with experience in automotive, ag, or outdoor equipment? Visit joinmahindra.com to become a part of the Mahindra dealer family. That's joinmahindra.com.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, just starting to rain in Shreveport. By the way, here's Ruben.
The intersection at Hollywood Avenue and Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now, and we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Benton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex that's working across North Texas may approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning. Just after 7, it's Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, and local news is just a couple of seconds away.
Strong storms are roaring into our area. We'll take a look at that. Pumping raw sewage into the Red River. Who's doing that, you might ask? And a spike in crime. What's the chief's answer?
Honest to goodness, look over your left shoulder and look at the lack of light in the lobby from here.
Ooh,
this time of day, normally it's daylight. It looks
Yeah.
like the middle of the night outside.
Big storms arriving.
Richard Llewellyn, Weather Channel, probably talk to him just a couple of seconds, get a storm update as far as severe weather, the thunderstorms, and there was a tornado warning for Harrison County earlier this morning. We'll get the latest. Traffic and weather. Fletcher has sports is coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
The KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Lots of concern about crime in Shreveport. We asked Police Chief Ben Raymond about what's going on.
All too often, many of these shootings are what I would consider, I don't want to call them a random shooting, but the people that are hit are not the intended target. A lot of them start off an argument about something else, an argument over a boy or a girl or some social media post that was made, and then all too often they turn violent.
The chief says he is putting more officers on the streets during high crime hours. Accused killer's attorneys attempt to push a murder trial to the fall. We get details from Matt Parker.
Attorneys for accused cop killer Grover Cannon filed a motion requesting that Cannon's trial not be set before November 11th. The motion says that they want their client to have a fair trial and that some witnesses would not be available to testify before that date. Cannon's scheduled to be back in court at the end of July to set a trial date. He's accused of shooting and killing Shreveport police officer Thomas LaValle in 2015. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A problem with the Stoner sewer main is causing major problems in Shreveport. Residents should avoid using Bayou Pierre, Anderson Bayou, and the Red River near the Stoner boat launch due to sewage being in those waterways. Governor John Bel Edwards has signed the $30 billion budget that lawmakers approved during the session. The governor says if reelected, he will push Louisiana teacher salaries to the southern regional average.
We didn't quite get there, but this is a big down payment in that process, and we're going to make sure that happens.
Under legislation recently passed, teachers will be getting a $1,000 pay raise. Support workers will get $500. Former Secretary of State wants Louisiana to reimburse him for legal settlement. Tom Shedler, who resigned last year amid sexual harassment allegations, is arguing that the state did not provide him an individual defense after the accuser filed suit against him and the state. Shedler wants $32,000 to cover his attorney fees and his part of the settlement. Louisiana continues to be ranked 49th in overall child well-being. Kids Count manager of Agenda for Children, Teresa Falgu, says a big factor in the low ranking is that our state ranks 50th in childhood poverty, with 307,000 children living in poverty. That's roughly 28% of our state's child population.
When kids are living in poverty, they're less likely to have access to good schools, they're less likely to have access to good health care, and their parents are much more likely to have trouble getting their basic needs met.
She says our state's also low in the ranking when it comes to child and teenage death and underweight births. President Trump officially kicks off his re-election campaign in Florida at a rally that focused more on settling scores and laying out his agenda for a second term. He did talk about immigration reform and fake news media, also an illegal witch hunt that tried to keep him and his supporters down. Worker burnout study shows those in L.A. are the most burned out, full of stress. Next cities on the list, Detroit, Chicago, Phoenix, and New York. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Risk-free.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic time. Ruben's ready.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue near Piermont Road. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex that's working across North Texas may approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Richard Llewellyn, Weather Channel guy, back again. I just looked out the front window. It looks like, because here it gets daylight at like 5:30 or quarter till 6 in the morning, and the sun's up, and an hour or so ago it's bright and nice, and you look outside now, it's the middle of the night.
It's amazing how much of a difference these once these storms approach, how we will go from day to night just that fast.
It's just this storm, as rapidly moving as it is the clouds are so thick, and well, you give us the latest. You know what's going on.
Yeah, well, we're watching this line of thunderstorms as it continues to make its way right on into Shreveport right now, moving through Caddo and Bossier Parish. They have extended the severe thunderstorm warning on further east into Bienville, Bossier, Caddo, Claiborne, DeSoto, and Webster Parish until 8 o'clock as this line of thunderstorms continues to move at pretty much at highway speed. It's moving at 55 miles per hour to the east. And, of course, with the speed of these storms, they're not going to weaken. They're just going to continue to roll on through. They're going to bring a lot of strong gusty winds. We had a 51-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Shreveport Regional Airport as the storms approached there about 10 minutes ago, and now the storms are making their way on through the city of Shreveport and into Bossier City and toward Barksdale Air Force Base. All this activity is going to continue to roll on to the east pretty quick. Of course, rain is going to continue to be a factor with this. We could pick up a quick inch of rain out of this, a lot of lightning, and, of course, the strong gusty winds that could bring down some tree limbs and power lines. And it looks like the rain is going to sit in and stay with us here for at least an hour or two. But I think as we get later into the morning, we're going to push this line on off to the east, and the sun will come back out. We're looking at a pretty nice afternoon once we get these storms through.
That was kind of my question. How far back to the west does this line of storms go? I looked a couple of seconds ago. Right now, is the back end of it as far to the west as Tyler in that area?
Yeah, it's back as far west as just past Longview over toward Liberty City along Interstate 20, and then you start to drive out of it if you're driving on I-20 as you make your way on off to the west. So it's going to, move on here through pretty quickly. I mean, once we get this initial line through, and of course there's a lot of heavy rain with this. I'm not discounting the heavy rain that's coming down with this, but the intense lightning. I'm just looking at the number of lightning strikes. There must be at least 2,500 lightning strikes with this intense line of thunderstorms as it's moving through. It's showing no signs of weakening as it's now rolling through Shreveport right now. But that's going to be the big story here in the next few minutes as we watch these storms roll through with this just constant strobe effect lightning, lots of heavy rain. If you can put off your travel here for the next few minutes, I definitely wait for this first line of storms to move through. Once we get through probably about 8:15, 8:30, we should get the heavier rains to start to lighten up a little bit as all this moves off to the east, and then we'll look at some improving weather probably after 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning with all this action moving off to our east by that time.
Richard, we're getting confirmed reports now of some damage in northeast Texas from a fire department saying that there was damage to a home there. A porch was ripped off, I think in the small community of Nesbitt, which is just west of Marshall. It looks like wind damage. Have you been able to confirm anything else yet with regard to a possible tornado touchdown in that area?
No, not yet. It looks like once we get these storms through, the Weather Service will probably go out there and investigate. I'm thinking with that particular event there at Nesbitt, it looks like it was probably a straight line wind event where the winds came up pretty quick. I mean, they were easily gusting over 75 miles per hour there when that line moved through. So I'm thinking that more than likely it's going to be straight line winds is what they're going to find there as it ripped off that porch there just along Highway 154 there at Nesbitt. That's going to be the big story with this. I don't think we're going to be looking at any individual spin-ups with this. Can't discount a tornado warning with this line of thunderstorms, but that will be more than likely just due to the intense straight-line winds that will be associated with this line of storms.
This rain it's a deluge. We're already soaked and saturated. How much is this going to drop on us today?
I think about an inch. I mean, that seems to be what everybody else has been getting back further off to the west as we've been looking at some of the rainfall reports over in northeast Texas. It looks like a quick inch of rain with this, and then that's going to be about it. There will be some ponding on roads, and, of course, if there's some standing water in some locations, this is going to continue to add to that. But widespread flash flooding, just due to the fast movement of the storms, is going to be limited because of the fact that these storms are moving so fast on off to the east. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe an inch of rain out of this, a quick inch, and then we're done with the rain and improving weather for us this afternoon.
Richard, one more quick question. As they had sort of the I know the tornado warning earlier this morning in East Texas, Harrison County, as the storm, when it was still over in East Texas, you saw some rotation, cloud rotation, but as it moves just 20, 25 miles up the road, that seems to dissipate. What causes that? How does a storm go from a potential tornado threat, say at 6:30 this morning, to just straight line winds 15 or 20 minutes later?
Well, one of the things that we've been looking at it too is this, as we see the upper level energy with this particular thunderstorm complex, a lot of that energy is riding out ahead of the line, and that's what we're seeing right now. Of course, the winds came up pretty quick there at the regional airport when we saw that wind gust of 51 miles per hour there. That means the wind energy is out well ahead of the line of strong thunderstorms, and what we're seeing is the winds are being basically pushed out ahead of these thunderstorms, so it kind of limits the tornadic development with this. It just becomes a factor, in these individual cells that try to form out ahead of the main line where we could get that quick turning in the wind and get a quick spin up of a tornado. That's what we saw back in Marshall County when that particular damage there at Nesbitt. We just saw a little individual cell that tried to pop up ahead of the main line and then eventually just got absorbed by all the other thunderstorm activity that was moving along pretty quick. I mean, that's one of the advantages that we've got with this line moving so fast. It kind of puts the limitation on how much tornadic development we could see with this line of storms.
Richard Llewellyn, Weather Channel. Great stuff as always, man. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it more than we can say.
Thank you, sir.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, traffic update. Erin should send him a present, actually. That's what they ought to do.
They might do that, yeah.
Coupons, Taco Bell. I hear Richard loves Taco Bell. Traffic update, here's Ruben.
Dealing right now with heavy backed up traffic on I-220 east and westbound near the Cross Lake Bridge, as well as I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. And we have some backed up traffic on I-49 northbound near Piermont Road. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's sports. Fletch is here.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Major League Baseball last night. Cincinnati beat the Astros 4-3. The Reds hit 3 home runs off Justin Verlander, 2 in the first inning. That's the first series win for the Reds after they've taken the first 2 games of this 3-game set since they won a series May 24th to May 26th. For the Astros, it's their first series loss since April 29th to May 2nd series. Good news for the Astros, though. Jose Altuve is being activated for the final game of the series today. He's been out since May 11th with a strained hamstring. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman clubbed a 2-run home run for the Stros, his 20th of the season. Cleveland hit 3 consecutive home runs for the first time since July 16, 2004, to take down the Rangers 10-3. Adrian Simpson was 5-0 in his last 6 starts for the Rangers, but he gave up 5 runs, 3 of those earned in 3 innings to take the L. College World Series, Louisville and Auburn interrupted by rain with Louisville on top 4-1. They'll get back at it today at around 11 o'clock or so. Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, scheduled to play last night, will instead play this afternoon, with Texas Tech and Florida State playing an elimination game, weather permitting, later tonight. Calvary senior safety Eric Reed announced on Tuesday he is committed to play his college football at Ole Miss. Several recruiting analysts had Reed as a basic lock to go to LSU, but the rising three-star, some analysts have him as a four-star safety, threw his hat in the Rebels ring and said. And in Gold Cup play, the U.S. men's national team beat Guyana 4-0 to open the Gold Cup. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. It's creepy outside. It's not raining. Now.
We are under a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's in effect for parts of northwest Louisiana until 8 o'clock. This includes Webster, north central DeSoto, eastern Caddo, southwest Claiborne, Bienville, and Bossier parishes. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts have been reported. Radar indicates numerous trees have been knocked down across East Texas and northwest Louisiana. There have been some reports of damage to roofs, siding, and trees.
Sparky, how many people without power this morning? First of all, East Texas. Second of all, in Louisiana, our area.
Let me pull back up the map. Locally, we're about 7,000 at the moment. It's always updating and calculating. Overall, in the Arklatex, it looks like about 26,000 people are without
about
power.
10,000 or more over those Harrison County, Marshall way from the storm earlier this morning. And still no word whether or not that, you see it on social media a little bit, and some, well, kind of a lot actually, is that they suspect there was a touchdown. I know they had a tornado warning, and there was funnel cloud and circulatory rotation activity, as they say. Whether or not it touched down or whether or not that was the reported 70 or 75 or even 80-mile-an-hour straight-line winds, I don't know. Like Weather Channel's Llewellyn said, have to get in there and look and see and take the place apart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I do. You do stuff, and then when we tell you what you did, it's not that you deny doing it. It's just that you look at us and say, "I'd never do that."
I would never do that.
Okay, you got to promise just to hold your horses a minute.
Okay.
Because here's what Erin did yesterday, and on one hand it's awesome, on the other hand it's horrible. So there's been this ragu spaghetti sauce recall, and how many jars of that? And you had the serial numbers on the radio and stuff a couple of days ago. Was it like
it's a bunch of them, a bunch of different models.
And so Erin, she said, I've got some ragu at the house.
I do. I have 2 jars.
And so she runs home to look, and she comes back and she says, "No, I don't have the right serial numbers.
No.
Do you think I can still get free ragu?"
Yeah.
And I said, well, no. So you see her sort of mulling over this plot, this sort of plan in her head. And she was sitting down at the other end of the gopher-shaped table yesterday, and she was sort of ruminating, sort of thinking out loud, not really knowing or caring, for that matter, if Matt and I were listening. And Matt is my witness on this one. So she's sitting there, and this is sort of Erin talking to herself, where she says, you know, I think I've got a plan where I could get some free ragu. I've got the serial numbers from the jars.
Is that bad?
I've got the serial numbers from the jars. What if I just call the 800 ragu, I've got the jars that you've recalled number, and tell them I've got, look, here's the serial numbers on my jars. And then I could say, oh, by the way, I'm a cook at a homeless shelter.
I've got 20 cases.
I've got 20 cases of ragu.
I would not do that. I have 2 jars.
Well, see, and they're the wrong ones, but you're still thinking about calling ragu.
No, I would not do that.
Falsifying.
No.
Hold
I
on.
would not. I thought about it.
Hold on.
Don't get me wrong.
Her eyes lit up. I'm a cook.
They did.
At a homeless shelter.
She said, I would never do that. That's not me. But I've sat in this chair while she called and demanded that a certain restaurant down the road send her like $100 gift card because they forgot her fruit. She is that person. She's insane. She just, I would never do that.
I ordered a meal with a side order of fruit, and they didn't send me my fruit.
And you called.
And I paid for it.
And you called the corporate office.
Yeah.
And demanded a $100 gift card.
Sorry about that manager getting fired, but that's okay.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Did you ever get your gift card?
Yes, of course I did.
You guys know. Thanks for sharing. If you don't know the story about the shoes, that one's coming up, too.
Oh, dang.
Traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping an eye on some backed up traffic on I-49 northbound near Kings Highway. And traffic lights are still out on Benton Road and Airline Drive in North Bossier. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex that's working across North Texas may approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard DeWettig, the Weather Channel.
Of information. KEEL News now.
Governor Edwards has signed the $30 billion budget that lawmakers approved in the legislative session. The governor says the spending plan goes into effect July 1st. Teachers will get $1,000, support workers $500. The budget also contains an additional $39 million in block grant money for public schools, and the budget increases funding so additional children can attend pre-K classes.
And what that means at the end of the day, there's about 1,458 children who are going to be removed from the waiting list, and they're going to get a slot.
Edwards says if he's reelected, he will continue to push for higher teacher salaries. A problem with the Stoner sewer main is causing major problems in Shreveport. Residents should avoid using Bayou Pierre, Anderson Bayou, and the Red River near the Stoner boat launch due to sewage being in those waterways. A rash of crime in recent weeks has lots of folks concerned, including Police Chief Ben Raymond.
Again, using our crime analysts to kind of track when do we have these violent crimes occurring, what shift, what day of the week, and then we're putting additional people out there, what we call a special operation. It's kind of a proactive policing enforcement effort to try to target some of those criminals.
He's also calling on the community to help, to call in to the police if you see something suspicious. The school board passes the new budget, refusing to pay more for crossing guards. Matt Parker with that.
The Caddo Parish School Board has approved a new budget. However, in the budget, the board is still only paying $12,500 for school crossing guards. Earlier this year, the City Council voted to cut funding for school crossing guards, hoping the school board would pick up the slack. Superintendent of Caddo Schools, Dr. Lamar Gorey, says the school board made a commitment years ago to pay a certain amount for school crossing guards, and the board will continue to honor that obligation. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
President Trump announcing his intention to run for re-election. The president saying the administration has been able to succeed despite pushback from forces supposedly working against him.
Together we're breaking the most sacred rule in Washington politics. We are keeping our promises to the American people. Because my only special interest is you. I don't have a special interest. I don't care.
Some recent polls show President Trump trailing a few of the popular Democrats in the race. The leader of the Louisiana State Trooper Association charged with shooting at his daughter's boyfriend on Father's Day. Chris DeMeo has more.
71-year-old Executive Director David Young facing weapons charges. Baton Rouge police say Young told them that he saw someone in his daughter's car, which she said was empty. He told deputies he ordered the man onto the ground at gunpoint and called 911. He also says the boyfriend fled and he fired a warning shot in the air. But a witness's video shows the gun was fired toward the boyfriend. The daughter also facing drug charges, including meth possession. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
A cargo ship caught in Philadelphia carrying 33,000 pounds of cocaine worth over $1 billion. 2 people have been arrested. If things smell a little funny around your office, this might be the problem. Deodorant use. 40% of 18 to 24-year-olds say they don't use it. 30% of those in the ages of 25 to 34 say they never use deodorant. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Hey there, Robert here once again for Louisiana Coin and Jewelry on Line Avenue. Okay, so here's the deal at Louisiana Coin and Jewelry. It was graduation season, and they did record numbers. Then it was Mother's Day, and they did record numbers. It was Father's Day, and they did record numbers. Well, now it's the gift-giving season, and there is no place better to find that one-of-a-kind, and I'm being serious now, because you'll find stuff at Louisiana Coin and Jewelry that you will not find anywhere else in the Arklatex. That once-in-a-lifetime, never-to-be-forgotten perfect gift, including, you ready, custom bridal ring design specialists, really cool. If you're thinking about popping the question and you're ring shopping, they can do a computerized digital 3D rendering of the ring of your collective dreams. Plus, they've got diamond jewelry, one-of-a-kind, pendants and rings, and everything else. It's Louisiana Coin and Jewelry on Line Avenue. In fact, take a look at their inventory, or at least a great amount of it, online at louisianacoin.com. It's Louisiana Coin and Jewelry on Line Avenue. Tell them Robert told you to stop by. Great stuff in the corner of Uptown Shopping Center in Shreveport. Did you look outside?
I did. It looks like a stormy fall day.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. I haven't been out of this chair in a couple of minutes. Does it still look like the middle of the night out there?
It does. It looks dark. The rain has let up a little bit, but
at least where we are in the west side of town, It looks like, I guess, north of, we're right on I-20. So I guess north of I-20, it's a little harder. Is that the situation?
The severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect for part of Caddo Parish, eastern Caddo Parish. All of Bossier Parish is included. This new warning also includes Webster, southwest Claiborne, all of Bienville, and north central DeSoto Parish. This thunderstorm warning in effect until 8 o'clock this morning.
Parky?
We're up to about 9,100 power outages in the Shreveport-Bossier area, so lots of people without power this morning, lots of just water everywhere, so just be careful if you're out and
Break
about.
those numbers down. Arklatex, well, the Louisiana side as opposed to the Texas side, because the storm over Marshall Way around 6 to 6:15 this morning, I guess, was much more severe than it's dissipated as it approached us.
Yeah, it's got about 13,000 people without power in the Texas side of things, and locally in Shreveport-Bossier, like I said, about 9,000 or so at the moment. So we're keeping an eye on that and seeing how that's progressing. SWEPCO can't keep the website updated quick enough.
Really, we had Richard Llewellyn from the Weather Channel on earlier this morning a couple of times. What did he say about the rest of the day?
He said it's going to move out quick. It's going to move out quick, and then it's going to get hot. 96 degrees.
Or 96 later.
That is going to be, that's going to blow steam up from the ground almost because of all this water.
You scared me. I didn't know where you were going with
Yeah,
that.
man.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, traffic update now. Wow. I guess I've known you too long. Traffic update. Steam from where? Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. And traffic lights are still down in North Bossier on Airline Drive and Benton Road. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex. It's working across North Texas. May approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard Llewellyn, the Weather Channel.
No. We're going to say that on the radio. You're going to say it on the radio.
You know what I meant.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Oh, God. Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884. So earlier this morning, Matt, correct her if she comes off the rails just a bit.
I do. Okay.
It's tweet, right?
Yeah.
It's tweet.
Yeah.
Okay, not twit.
No.
You're a twit. I tweet.
You just keep going.
Okay.
I'm not the award winner in here. I have no.
We got a photo.
You're making me sweat.
We got a photo on our Facebook page, on the KEEL Facebook page.
And you didn't swat.
From Christopher Nelson over in Marshall. An incredible photo. I got that. I'm trying to keep composed here.
Here for you, kid.
A great photo from Christopher Nelson from Marshall of the storm cloud moving in. I've never seen quite this kind of cloud. This is an incredible photo. So I tweeted it out, and I what do you do when you put the little @ symbol? I tweeted it at the National Weather Service.
hashtag.
No, it was a tweet at them.
Okay.
And they retweeted it. They retweeted my photo.
That you stole.
Well, I didn't steal it. He gave it to me. So I appropriated it.
Actually, he just went, hey, look at this. It's kind of cool. And then you put your name on it.
I did not. I have his name on it. It
Well, at
says
least-
Christopher Nelson photo.
So pertaining to
In
our
my little
segment earlier this morning.
Twit? Did I twit? I tweeted.
You tweeted.
Okay.
Pertaining to our segment earlier this morning about you and the ragu spaghetti sauce and your attempt to garner a dozen or more cases.
I would
No,
not
really. My
do
name's
that.
Erin McCarty. I'm a cook at a homeless shelter, and I need a lot of your stuff.
No, I didn't do that.
Yet.
From the Shreveport Security
Yet.
Systems text line. Erin, best be careful. They could take away her award. Here's another. Erin would absolutely commit Medicaid fraud.
Agreed.
Who doesn't?
The vote is unanimous.
Oh, man. Yikes.
There is, and Barbara Featherston from Water and Sewer.
She's going to join us tomorrow.
Why couldn't she join us today? Just busy?
Yeah, she has meetings and
Out there
stuff
with a
to
bucket?
get to
What the
today.
heck?
She might be helping clean up. Who knows? I mean, they
Oh,
have
no,
a
they're
mess.
not cleaning up. No.
They're fixing stuff.
Are they?
Yeah, they're fixing the
pouring-
Stoner
no,
launch. Yeah,
they're-
the Stoner.
they're- right
what do you call
now, Shreveport is pouring. I mean, pouring. It sounds like they're pouring.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly the Niagara Falls of well, kinda. We are.
Sewage is being diverted directly into the Red River near the Stoner boat launch. And I'm quoting from the city's page.
Raw sewage? Did they use the word raw or just sewage?
It just says sewage is being diverted directly to the Red River near the Stoner boat launch to lessen the potential of other uncontrolled overflows.
What that means is we either dump it in the river or it ends up in your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I over? I'm not exaggerating.
You're not exaggerating.
So what's broken? What's the time frame?
Ugh.
What are we sending to Natchitoches and Alexandria with
well,
hubs?
they've had ongoing issues with the Stoner force main. That's that Stoner lift station there. I believe it's right there at the dog park area.
So it's
You've
got to
seen
be
all the crews.
probably underwater also.
Well, it's not anymore, but the main is estimated to be back in service within 1 week.
Parky?
Well, I was just, I think it still might be either underwater or close to being underwater.
No, I drive by there every day. It's not. It's the water's receded from that area. The part of the park is still underwater, but the Stoner lift station is not. But the crews are still having trouble getting in and out of there because it's all muddy and mushy and gushy.
Gotcha.
And you have to have mushy gushy equipment and stuff to get in and out of there.
So that filtration station, I guess, for lack of a better term, and I didn't mean to go Fraggle Rock on you there.
Yeah.
But basically, it is still inoperable, and as a result, what's happening? And
ongoing issues with sewage overflows in recent days have impacted water bodies, including Bayou Pierre from Ockley Drive south.
That's over by
Maryland's place.
Okay, I gotcha.
And Anderson Bayou from Sevier Street northeast to Clyde Fant Parkway.
I assume that's
Matt,
the one
can
that
you
runs
check
through
and see
Anderson
where that is?
That's
yeah,
probably
in the
right
Anderson Island area.
Yeah, that crosses.
They had problems at Champion Lake as well.
Yeah.
We're getting reports that right there behind the Montessori school in that bayou there are lots of dead fish. Lots of problems in that area. A lot of residents are reporting problems.
Well, they're saying it's going to take about a week to fix, but with the weather moving in, possible flash flooding, it may push that back even longer. So
it could absolutely do that. We're going to have Barbara on tomorrow, along with the city's environmental services manager. They're going to both be on the phone together, kind of to give us a timetable and what's happened.
In the official pronouncement from the city, what's it called? DAWAS, DAWAS, Department.
Yeah.
What's that abbreviated?
Department of Water and Sewer.
Okay. Was there any? I would have no idea how many gallons of raw sewage would constitute a lot of raw sewage. In other words, to me, a quart would be pretty bad. But on the other hand, I would imagine it's a little more than a quart that we are sending southward to our friends in Natchitoches and Alexandria.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you in Natchitoches.
Yeah, what Brown can do for you.
Yeah.
So
and,
my question would be, is there any number? Is there any amount?
Don't have a number. We can ask her that tomorrow and find out how much.
And how much constitutes
and at what
a lot?
point do the feds go, you can't do this? We're not going to allow it. You know, when does DEQ step in and go, no, you can't do that. Sorry. You know, what do you do with it? Do you let it go back into your neighborhoods? Do you put it in the river? What's your choice?
Well, that's kind of what they are saying.
Right.
In pretty directly to me, they're saying either we put this in the river to avoid backups in specific neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't go into the river, it's going into your backyard.
What is your other option? You don't have enough trucks to pump it into trucks and haul it away.
It's tough to airlift it out.
Yeah, you got a point. It's smelly. The residents I've talked to and have sent me texts and emails, they say it is a smelly doodle. Smelly doodle.
Nobody likes smelly doodle. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. You okay over there?
Yes. I'm
He's a snuggly doodle.
Much like the station there, I'm just having a hard time processing sewage at the moment.
Oh, boy.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update right now. Don't forget, your money now is just a couple of seconds away. Pardon me. Presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. And traffic lights are still down in North Bossier on Airline Drive and Benton Road. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
An overnight thunderstorm complex that's working across North Texas may approach us a little bit later on today. Partly cloudy showers and thunderstorms on the increase today. Some of the storms could be strong to severe, 96. Scattered thunderstorms tonight, lows 73. Sunshine returns tomorrow, highs at 97. Richard Duettig, the Weather Channel.
Leaders from the local community, the state, and the nation. We have them all.
This is John Kennett. I have the honor of representing Louisiana in the United States Senate. And I just want to take a moment to say, Shreveport Bossier, we're all so lucky to have Robert and Erin on the air.
We are Keel. 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. What are we lucky about, or are you lucky about something?
We're lucky, like the senator said. We're lucky.
If you say so.
We're lucky to be able to be here on the radio.
Erin planning for her New York trip. 1 week from today is award presentation day. What shoes shall we wear? Or she wear? That's coming up. Keel Sports Update time. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Major League Baseball last night. Cincinnati beat the Astros 4-3. Reds hit 3 home runs off Justin Verlander, 2 in the first inning. That's the first series win for the Reds after they've taken the first 2 games of this 3-game set. Since they won a series today, he's been out since May 11th with a strained hamstring. Former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman clubbed a 2-run home run for the Stros, his 20th of the season. Cleveland hit 3 consecutive home runs. College World Series, Louisville and Auburn interrupted by rain with Louisville on top 4-1. They'll get back at it today at around 11 o'clock or so. Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, scheduled to play last night, will instead play this afternoon, with Texas Tech and Florida State playing an elimination game, weather permitting, later tonight. Calvary senior safety Eric Reed announced on Tuesday he is committed to play his college football at Ole Miss. Several recruiting analysts had Reed as a basic lock to go to LSU, but the rising three-star, some analysts have him as a four-star safety, threw his hat in the Rebels ring and said. And in Gold Cup play, the U.S. men's national team beat Guyana 4-0 to open the Gold Cup. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.